This has effectively surrendered map control. Why? Because the opponent's allowed to group up. Because why? Because the top lane is not pushed in to their tier 3. BSJ, you're telling me if the top lane was pushed into their tier 3 and they're doing this move that I would just hit their tier 3? Yes! Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to show up to this fight or not, but BSJ, instead of going to the fight, all I would do is jungle. Why do you have these tough decisions? Why are you put in this weird spot? Because you went bottom 45 seconds ago, rather than continuously pressuring top. Moving on.
Banana slam jam.
Okay. Hello, this is BSJ, back once again. YouTube holla. No, I'm kidding. No sellouts. I just straight up do the content. But please, like and subscribe. That's the only time I'm ever doing it. Okay, moving on. This is a 4.7k shitcan anti-mage replay. No, I'm kidding, dude. I'm just in a really hyper mood. I don't know why. But yeah, we have a 4.7k anti-mage player here. We're ready to give him the D in terms of D-analysis.
Prepare for battle.
So let's check it out. Starting items. I've seen a lot of anti-mages start Orb of Venom. I would have debated going Orb of Venom against what's most likely a Necrophos. Generally, the approach is to hit him a lot. I think I would have asked my forward position to Trialing at the very start of the game, if you're able to get that done. If not, so be it. And I would have done what, like maybe just killed the Necro once and then gone to normal lanes. That's what I would have tried to do. Orb of Venom would have to be in your build for that, but if it doesn't work out, this build is okay.
The battle begins.
Last of my kind, but first in this.
Obviously, if your supports won't do that, then you can't do anything about it. Okay. So your two approaches are to obviously creep aggro a lot or to hit the Necro a lot. Those are kind of your two choices. I'd say, in general, the best anti-mage players I've seen are hyper-aggressive level 1. But if you don't have the tools to do so, which I don't really think you do, then that's just reality. Walking up, you're probably going to get Snapfire queued. You have an Oracle who's pretty weak lane support for the most part. So you're getting clicked a lot. Based on what Arteezy's been doing, and I tried it for a game, if I'm in a heavy harass lane, I highly recommend the early Headdress. It's 3 all stats, so it's not actually, you know, just about the regen. Headdress didn't used to be 3 all stats, it was only 2, but it's 450 gold, so you're basically getting a crown with 1 less all stat, but regen. So you end up dying there, a little over-aggressive. I think this mainly boils down to a lot of mitigating damage prior to that moment, so definitely check all the times that you could have potentially creep aggroed. Maybe you missed a second of tangoing. That's just a lot of itty-bitty efficiencies that probably led you to being a bit low health there. I'm not going to watch it back for you, but I'm telling you, I usually notice that stuff for me. Okay, like right now, you haven't been tangoing, for instance, so if you were to engage again, you'd just be missing health. Definitely should be a Headdress, in my opinion, over a Wand. Wand is better if you have mana issues, which you just don't. So this might be an itemization thing. I don't think you can afford to rush a Ring of Health, but you're against a Necro, so you're naturally going to be taking a lot of damage. And you just have to make it so you're advancing your farm as well as your itemization without having to buy too much regen. You do have to buy regen, right? But I think if like this wand were a, or if this wand or Wraithband were a Headdress, you'd be in a much better shape here. So obviously the lane's not that great. Exactly why I told you to either kill the Necro level 1 with a support with an Orb of Venom, or it just kind of sucks, which is the case. I learned that from playing against a lot of Necros and watching better anti-mage players play against Necro. You can't make that happen, obviously, in your bracket. Like I said, it's just how it is. But just knowing that that's the optimal play generally is important. So if you can try to organize it, maybe 1 out of 5 games you can get it to happen. Okay, every matchup has like a very specific win condition for the hero, right? So in this case, that's the one. Good job hitting him here. This is good. Very nice kill. Nice dodge of the cookie. So you are going to go for the Ring of Health, pretty greedy, but I don't think it's better to go Boots. I think Ring of Health is probably your best option. Ring of Health, Salve. I would even blink over and just buy the Ring of Health myself, because that's not coming for a long time. Generally speaking, the Ring of Health this early is is exactly for the reason you're seeing. You're level 4, so your courier can't really get to the side shop. Looks like you're going to blink there, which is, like, acceptable, but, like, does this really feel good? You know, maybe. Okay, so the thing is that you go this Ring of Health with no boots, so it's kind of telling me you're giving up on the lane, but then, like, in terms of winning the lane, but then you have a wand. So it kind of, like, goes 2 different game plans here. Like, if you're planning the lane a lot, I would prefer you have, like, Tango South with boots. But if you're preferring to just kind of give up on winning the lane, but do, like, the sustain farm trade thing, you should have, like, Headdress, Ring of Health, and kind of just start pulling and shit, you know? You're kind of doing, like, a little bit of combating the lane and a little bit of farming, which I think is going to lead to you just being a little bit in the middle, which is just slightly inefficient. This extra branch, if you do buy 3 at the start, is meant to be for a Tango, by the way, so just keep that in mind on a lane that you do have regen issues. At this point in the game, the Headdress would pretty much cancel out Necrophos's aura, so that's why you would buy it. Notice how this lane kind of sucks now, so like I was saying, either choose to combat the lane with your items, meaning, like, don't go Ring of Health, or choose to play the sustained farm game, and you kind of went midway, and you die doing one of them. So I think that requires you to commit on the way you want to play the game. Either way is fine if you make a choice. I already emphasized this in the last replay. I don't like your items or skill builds being either not matching or kind of in the middle of 2 different game plans. Because if you're in the middle of 2 different two different good ideas, you're going to do each one at 50% capability, and then you're going to fuck up one of them, like whatever you choose to do.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Money changes hands.
So at that particular moment, I'm full mana. I see 2 heroes that are not in lane. I hate when they're in lane. So usually when you see heroes that aren't in lane and you hate that they are in lane, meaning like you don't want them to be in your lane, you get back to the lane ASAP and you clear it as soon as possible. So blink the fuck on this creep wave is basically what I'm saying. But I'm giving you the major reason why. It's sense of urgency. Don't just walk at this creep wave. Blink on it. It's a small efficiency thing, but blink on it. I'm pretty sure you would have had blink again for this engagement. I might be wrong though. So Jug rotated to your lane. I would TP mid almost immediately. I would TP mid right now. It's another thing where you don't really contest any of their cores very well. Jug TP to your lane, which is a great indication that the opponent's probably going to make a move there. Especially because your hero doesn't contest Jug very well. You also just used your ultimate. At this point in the game, I don't think boots are that great for you. Like, I just think that if I were to watch Arteezy at this point, he would probably just go Battle Fury without the boots. I would probably save just straight up for the Demon Edge. And I would TP mid right here, and I would immediately clear that wave, because it's 1046, so there's a wave right there in the river, and then make my way towards top. And that's because Jug just TP to your lane. So because their core just TP to your lane, most likely any play they make is going to be around bottom and mid. And also, if they were to TP one hero top and one hero mid, you can easily maneuver from mid to top and potentially get a good rotation there, or just take a lane that's advantageous for you either way. But because they TP'd a bunch of heroes bottom, it's in your favor to get as far away from bottom as quickly as possible. But you also don't want to just leave your lanes. The way you punish people for committing to a lane is to push lanes and go to the opposite side of the map. So in this case, you should immediately TP mid, and then you should push, or then you should make your way towards top. Like I said, when you're jungling on these AFK type heroes, somebody in my chat just now when I watched my PL game, they said, wow, you're so active on PL, I thought that hero just farms. Heroes like Anti-Mage are the same thing, right? But the thing is, if you farm near where something could potentially happen, things kind of just come to you, and it's very convenient for you. So that's how you need to approach the game of Dota, is farm where things that could be good for your team could be happening. So right now, they just TP'd a lot of heroes bottom. No good stuff can be there for being an anti-mage. You don't want to be involved in this. Get out as soon as possible. Don't hesitate. Know that's a good reason to leave. And it's something that on my game leave video a long time ago, I talked about the decision to leave your lane as a carry. Every game, you should have some idea of when and what condition you're going to leave the lane. That condition can be a certain level that you get. It can be a certain level the opponent gets. It can be a certain hero that comes to your lane. It can be a hero TPing to your lane specifically. It could be like a cooldown, like, you know, the opponent Void has no chrono, so you TP to his lane. all types of things, right? The point is to think about when that's going to happen. And generally speaking, at this point, you would first address you need to leave the lane. The next step is what lane do you go to? And then if you have no lane to go to, you jungle. Most people in your bracket, they skip the what other lane do I go to part and they just jungle. So that's the problem usually. And if you didn't think this way, you would have immediately TP mid. Maybe from right now you do TP mid, for all I know. But it should have been really fast. Like I would have registered that within 2 seconds and just left. So it's really important to have that decision making be that quick. Notice how you could have been pushing mid instead of jungle. You would have gotten a creep wave instead of a creep camp. And you would have also put pressure on the mid wave instead of farming a creep camp. Same amount of farm, even more farm, and instead you're creating pressure on the map. AFK? No, you're actually creating space on the map. So make your way towards top, like I said. Okay, it took you longer than it should have, but that's fine. It looks like maybe you went to go pick up a broom handle. That seems kind of inefficient to me. For what you're doing, wouldn't you just rather have... Oh my god, they changed Iron Talon. What the hell? I would have definitely just gone for the Battle Fury straight instead of Treads. I don't think you need Treads to do what you're doing. They don't really speed you up that much.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom
Meaning that I think Battle Fury then Treads would be faster than Treads than Battle Fury here. So, any idea what you should be doing here? Great, you should be pushing mid. Perfect. I knew that's what you were going to say. Keep it up. So you're hanging out between mid and top right there. I know that you saw a fight going on, but the fact is, like, your teammate already died. You know, all their team is here. This is a situation where I would blink mid, and then if something good happened, I would run top or TP top. But there's just a free lane for you to push. You're a freaking anti-mage. Your team is doing stuff, and it's meant to be so they are buying time for you. But instead, you're showing up to the fight. And all the time they're spending is just helping you get the passive gold while you're sitting inside of this fight. And look at your other 2 lanes, right? Wow, you did a whole lot there. I think you clicked the guy twice.
Radiant's top tower. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is falling.
So I think you going Treads kind of falls in line with what I said. If I'm telling you that you don't really need Treads because the way you should be playing this game, and then you buy Treads and you go fight, I guess that's good, right? It lines up. But I think that's wrong this game. That's my opinion. You know, everyone's different. I honestly don't play Anti-Mage myself much, but I do watch a pretty good amount of players play it, and I feel like from what I've seen, that's what they would have done. I myself am just like you there, where I want to show up to fights, and it pains me not to. But I try to always remind myself on whatever hero I'm playing, whether or not I want to be fighting. It even applies to offlaners. I think that's something I've learned a lot from the offlane, is there's some games where I'm just not strong enough to participate in the game of Dota 2. And, at that point, it's getting as fast to that point of being able to participate as I can. In my PL game I just had right now, I just carried the shit out of it, but at fucking 15 minutes in, I was like 2-0-2. You know, I had no part in that. My team had like 18 kills. But that's just because I was in a game against heavy magic damage as PL. You're in a game where, yeah, they have like a couple heroes you can pop, but they have a Jug who's pretty good against you. They have Wyvern to like lock you down, and you're just an anti-mage with no Battle Fury, so you just don't have any farm. So no reason to delay your farm because you're trying to be useful when you're not. You know what this is equated to? Is when I have a level 5 fucking support at 14 minutes into the game, and they're trying to fight with me. For the love of God! Supports. If you're level 5 at 14 minutes, nothing should matter more than you than just walking down a lane and getting level 6. Okay? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. If your hero is not strong enough to participate, for the love of God, stop participating. Very important. In any role. Like, you know, I can't stand when I have supports that I think are strong because they're participating with me. Like, by showing up to the fight, you're telling your team that you believe you are strong enough to fight. So if you're a support showing up to a fight at level 5, I'm probably assuming you're level 6. Because, like, you know, I'll look, but sometimes in the middle of a fight, there's too much going on. So the point is, you know, this extends to more than just this anti-mage guy. You know, every role has their own degree of when they can or cannot fight. Anti-mage is the extreme of this, and the fights he shows up to are very, very nitpicky. A lot of times it has to do with getting good map positioning where you are pushing creep waves like I told you to mid, and then after you push the lane, something good might happen and you show up to the fight. But generally, it doesn't just happen without you pushing a wave and then showing up to the fight. That's not usually how it goes. Usually it's you pressuring a wave or a tower, forcing somebody to react to your pressure, and then you show up to the fight because you have favorable numbers, and maybe people have cast a bunch of spells. But you haven't done that yet, and I think that's an important step if you were to watch, like, Miracle play Anti-Mage, that he's always... You can watch that Juggernaut video that I showed you of Juggernaut from Miracle. Even a hero that does usually participate in the game. Watch how often he pressured lanes and then showed up to stuff. You're an Anti-Mage. Don't go to this tower push. If you kill somebody, you're farming. Don't hesitate. That was an extra 3 seconds. That's like a whole camp for you, brother. Okay. Know where you're at in the game, you know? Like, if I get a kill, what am I going to do with it? You know, I'm always thinking, what's my next objective? Right now, you're in mode farm. So if you get a kill, that means farm more. That doesn't mean jungle. That means push lanes. That means jungle on the way there, you know, but head towards a lane. In that case, you jungled towards a lane. That was good. Don't hesitate for that 3 seconds. That means you're not thinking ahead of time what you need to do. Because it shouldn't be get the kill, then process what you're doing. It should be get the kill, know that you're looking to farm, just find a place to farm, right? That's what it should be. And when I say farm, that does not mean jungle. But like in this case, you know, you identified top needed to be pushed, you jungled your way there, that's acceptable, right? You jungled your way there, that's just efficiency. This is crazy. Whew. Okay, you're out, maybe. Okay. That was a little on the ballsy side for me there, but that's okay. Okay, so pretty standard itemization from Anti-Mage, nothing surprising here. Okay. You see them on the map, you're playing the right side of the map, this is good. You're playing the opponent dead lane, which makes you very safe, this is good. Be a little bit careful blinking to camps when they're all missing. Might be more inclined to just walk. Just something to think about. In this game, they don't kill you very easily, so it's kind of like... It's like maybe you should just be blinking everywhere, but, you know. So, why'd you give up on top? Well, why go here? Where do you think they are? You've been pushing in top the whole time, and you just pushed in mid. Where do you think they are? Was your intent to run into 4 heroes? Because if that was your intent, that was great. But I don't think it was. So why did you not clear the mid wave like you did and then right back top? You didn't have anybody force you out of top. We talk about the dead lane concept. It's great. It's much better in Dota to continuously pressure one part of the map than it is to kind of pressure every part of the map. It's like, the analogy I used is, would you rather have me poke you 3 times right here or punch you in the nose? You'd rather me poke you 3 times. That's what you're doing by sweeping the map like this. That's what you're doing. Okay? You're just poking me. I want you to punch me in the face and continue pushing top until I stop. Until I make you stop. Okay? That's the analogy I use. Think about it that way. So, the only reason you leave the top lane is because they force you to. So, like, if you watch my PL game I just played, you can check it out. Maybe I should give the frickin' ID number at this point for people watching the video. The very rare times that I actually TP to the bottom lane is because the opponent put like 4 heroes top. Can you guys see this? Let me see. No, you can't. I figured. Here you go. It's right there, right there. It's when the opponent TP top. That's the only time I ever left the lane. In your case, you did a great job of pressuring top lane. Now have some conviction and do it more. There's nothing for you to gain down here. This is effectively AFK farming if you go down here, right? There's no objective for you to take. You're threatening nothing. You're not stopping anything because this lane's not pushed in. Why do we go to the dead lane? To relieve pressure. Are they pressuring you right now? No. Why are you here? Good question, BSJ. Thank you. This has effectively surrendered map control. Why? Because the opponent's allowed to group up. Because why? Because the top lane is not pushed in to their tier 3. BSJ, you're telling me if the top lane was pushed into their tier 3 and they're doing this move that I would just hit their tier 3? Yes! Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to show up to this fight or not, but BSJ, instead of going to the fight, all I would do is jungle. Why do you have these tough decisions? Why are you put in this weird spot? Because you went bottom 45 seconds ago rather than continuously pressuring top. Moving on. Okay, we've gotten back there. Took an extra minute and a half, but we got back there. Pressure will be back on top in about 2 minutes. Okay, it's there. Cool. We see them all bottom. Nice. We're in the decision we want to be in. We force the Pugna. Maybe we can get a good fight now. Run to your team. Pugna just TP top. Run. Nice. We got a... No? Nice. We got 2 kills. Why? We forced pressure, and then they TP'd, and then we killed them because they weren't all there. Oh my god. It's beautiful.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under radiant structures are fortified.
Let me just quickly count my treasure and I'll be off.
Okay, they bought back. Why are we bottom? What are we doing here? What's going on down here? Why is this farm better than top farm? We saved Storm 6 seconds by making him not have to go to the outpost. But they got top outpost. Okay, we're pushing tier 2 bottom. No, we're not. Okay, yes, we are. Okay. Not a bad blink. We see Pugna there. We forced a reaction, so it's not bad. I'd rather you be doing this on the top lane, but it's okay. It's on the right track. You get good kills. Good. Okay, now it's a little bit awkward, but they're fighting you. They bought back on Necro. Okay, maybe disengage. Oh, you still have ult. Okay, good. Nice. Good targeting in the fight. Wow, we won. You're farmed as fuck. Cool. Walk down mid. Necro's the only one alive. He has no buyback. Very nice. And I guess we win this game. I always try not to look at the start of the game I'm reviewing to see if you win or not. Looks like a win to me. I think I've said enough. Overall, pretty decent game. I think it just comes down to, like I said, the game plan and the laning stage with the items, and then how you play the map properly. So when you get kills, when the opponent comes to your lane, these things are natural reactions that need to be thought through prior to it happening. And it ends up being something where it sounds like you're thinking about a lot, but it ends up becoming a self-conscious or a subconscious thought of, when this happens, I'll do this. And if you think that way, you'll just make much quicker decisions. You know, when we get kills, I do this. When we lane in with my boy monkeys. When we
5 seconds remaining.
When somebody comes to my lane, I do this. If this person comes to my lane, I fuck them up. You know, it's like certain heroes make me rotate. Certain heroes make me just be like, oh, what are they doing here, and then kill them. So yeah, overall pretty well played, I would say, for a 4.7K game, but a lot to improve upon in terms of getting out of the laning stage a bit better, and overall the continuous split pushing pressure that against better players you might have really paid the price for what you did. So sweet.